We're live.
I didn't even know that 8:00 p.m. was a streamable hour to
Oh my God.
do things.
I mean, it didn't used to be because people have jobs or whatever, I guess. I don't know. People are
I
weird.
know that 8:00 p.m. Oh, and there's
There's somebody who didn't mute their video.
And the professionalism continues even at 8 p.m. What's going on, everybody? This is interesting for us. We're really early. Not a lot of we didn't really give a lot of notice on this one. But we're all super tired and drained from the weekend. sorry, Dan.
Yes, all of us are super drained from our busy week.
I'm drained from the weekend that just wasn't quite as fantastic as yours.
Sorry, buddy. Next year.
You can't be sorry. It's no one's fault but Brad's.
Fair. I accept.
Brad, better be careful, otherwise you're gonna get fired.
Good, I quit.
There you go.
Wait, never mind. I'm back.
Okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat. We have a couple of people here that have popped in early with us. Shane and Akilt, who I assume is the Shane that proposed to Kat this weekend. I think.
Oh, nice.
Is that the Shane? I think it is.
Very possible.
He was in here earlier. I'm not too sure if he's still in the chat, but welcome in. Donald Rance, as always. Victoria C, welcome in. Will from Whiskey Crusaders. Man, it was great actually meeting you in person, buddy.
It was good. And that was some solid pocket bacon from Will that he was passing out all weekend. It was
that was key. That was key Saturday night. Just
We've lost Hayes. He must have forgot to put an ice pack under his laptop.
Yeah, probably. Or he's just really upset that we're talking about the weekend now.
Maybe he just quit.
Maybe.
Oh well.
So going back to Will, I don't know if he noticed at like when I would do it, but I would pop right behind him and unzip his backpack and just take a piece of bacon.
Amazing.
He was like my little traveling snack bar.
Nice. Yeah, he came up to me like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times like, bacon? Yes, sir.
Yes, it was great meeting him and everyone else. Jason Machendrum, what's going on? Roomy. Me and him got to share a room at La Quinta, which was awesome. James Dennis from Toronto, what's going on? Patrick Cohn, the legend.
Milton, James Dennis from Milton,
Toronto.
It's all Toronto, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be. We're going to host a debate on this particular topic sometime.
We'll totally do it. This will happen.
Whoa! Even Lance is in the chat. Unprecedented.
Oh, y'all better behave.
No,
the newest mod.
Caleb's in the chat. Caleb stayed at a B&B with some people, and our friend James, his girlfriend's Russian. She brought some Russian whiskeys with her. Yeah, they were pretty interesting, and he got to take them home apparently. So awesome. The whiskey mariachi's in the chat. Greg
Eric Wade is asking if pocket bacon is code for something. No, it's actual literal pocket bacon.
No, it is now. It was actual pocket bacon, but it's gonna be something now.
It could be.
So I'm gonna.
Seriously.
Yeah, so pocket bacon is marketable somehow. Get on that role. I feel like jerky kind of serves that role.
Yeah, and you can get bacon jerky, so like there's definitely overlap there.
But you can't get Whiskey Crusader pocket bacon.
It's true. It was something special.
It was something special.
So what are you guys drinking? What are you guys drinking tonight? I'm starting with some Balcones single malt in a little tiny Glencairn that I got from an Iron Root.
Me too. We both have a little
Nice.
Sorry.
Are those smaller than the other ones?
They're probably the same volume, but they're like mini Glencairns instead of slightly fatter and shorter.
Yeah.
Nice. I am actually going to. I've got 101 cards here. and I've got 101 whiskeys written on them. So I'm gonna shuffle up and choose one.
That's an amazing idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for my individual video reviews. At the end of each review, I'm gonna shuffle the cards and pull out one, and that'll be the next one I review.
Are you gonna, and then obviously discard that card?
Yeah.
Sick.
I'll be happening to review black art every week.
Nice.
Just card count yourself and just be like, oh yeah, black art again.
Okay, so
oops, black art again.
Pick a card, Vito. Pick a card.
Okay.
Actually, name. Yeah, you know what? Name a card in the deck.
Name a card in. Oh, okay. The 6 of spades.
The 6 of spades. All right.
And while you go pick out that whiskey, I'm gonna call out some people in the chat when you decide when you name the whiskey.
Oh, Vito, apparently you left your Speedo and Eric waits for
What is it?
with
campfire.
That's tasty stuff.
I believe I got that from you, Vito.
Yeah, I gave you a sample. Might be the same sample. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I did give you a sample at one point. So yeah, grab that. Just want to call it Sarah from Whiskey Crusaders. Nice to see you in. And yes, the weed glasses are fantastic, and they do look normal sized in my hand.
They do.
Gretchen and Josh, I believe. Josh is on the Texas Whiskey Life account. Welcome in, Gala Days. It was great to see you guys this past weekend. And Eric, wait, we said that we were going to keep the Speedo a secret, man. God damn it! Can't trust anyone with a secret nowadays.
There's no secrets in whiskey. Wait, no, that's strangers.
So in my glass, I poured myself a little bit of Ironroot Icarus, and we're going to talk about Ironroot in a couple of minutes here.
I need to build another rack.
That's what
you need to drink some of your samples. Is what you.
That's what I'm working on it. That's what the cards are for. You guys are enablers.
Oh,
yep.
Poor you. Please, poor you.
Yeah, if only there were any Ironroot reps that we knew. That would be really handy.
What's Ironroot? Is it from
never heard of Ironroot?
I'm repping the Ironroot trucker cap and some balcones.
Just Texas out. You guys are all Texas out hard.
We are.
Yeah. And actually, we were there was a post on the Whiskey Tribe today. Was it a post on the Whiskey Tribe? Oh no, it was an individual post, and we were just kind of discussing, the after effect of a weekend like that, and then coming back to reality. Very, very hard hitting. But yeah, we'll get into that later. All right, so should we discuss quickly? I guess a lot of people have kind of gone through the day at the ball and everything that went around it. I guess we should talk about first and foremost what we did prior to the ball, and then sort of just discuss our feelings on the whole event and whatnot, while Dan just kind of sits there and judges us and wishes hate upon us.
The harsh judgment of Hayes. and Jeremy behind the scenes causing chaos with subtitles.
Poor Jeremy. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk. What did we do first? Me and Brad took a flight from Canuckland to Dallas last Wednesday, and we immediately went right up to Ironroot. What did we do at Ironroot, Brad?
We drank a lot of whiskey straight out of the barrel in the barrel warehouse. We took a tour. We did the whole tourist thing, and then Robert and Jonathan brought us into the barrel warehouse and essentially fed us whiskey for 3 or 4 hours or whatever it was.
Sounds pretty lame.
Gretchen.
It was no fun at all, Hayes. You didn't really miss much, It's just a bunch of barrels, really. I mean, once you've seen one barrel warehouse, you've seen them all, right?
I'm gonna interject something and be totally honest right now.
Yeah.
Completely honest. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying anything here, but genuinely one of the biggest disappointments was not being able to have a talk and a snuggle with Ella.
Ella is a good girl.
Fair.
Really wanted some bupper time, but hey.
Fair. Yeah, we never ended up at the Galladay's house, so we didn't get any Ella time either.
I did.
Oh, you did after after.
Yeah, me and Terry headed up. Terry Dolan headed up to the Galladay's and got to snuggle Ella for a little bit.
Yeah. So one of the fun things that was discovered while we were over at Iron Root, though,
One second. Just Eric, wait. Enjoy dinner. We'll see you. And yes, it was really great meeting you as well, buddy. Sorry, go ahead.
So while we were at Iron Root, one of the fun things that was discovered by Vito was that I wasn't kidding for the last few weeks when I said I was going to put a tracker on him.
Yeah, he put a little tile GPS tracker on me so that he couldn't lose me. It almost happened.
Yeah. He discovered it. He got really annoyed for a second, and he was like, "No, actually, that's a solid idea." He put it back and put it in his pocket. So
I still have it. I have to. You're just
you don't want to lose your Vito. That would be that'd be harsh.
We'll give a. Yeah, you know what? Sure, why not?
Send requests to Brad at caskstrengthshow.com.
Why not? Hey, John G's in the house, and Steve A's joined us. Guys, it was great meeting you all this weekend. Every time someone comes in, it's be like, it was great meeting you this weekend, even though I must have said it to each person like 8 times. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So we were in the barrel warehouse, and then we were sampling. The boys, the brothers Ginge, they pulled the brothers Ginge.
I don't know if I would have described them.
Me, the brothers Ginge. I don't know why. That's great.
I mean, it's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, they pulled 4 barrels for us, and we got to no, not 4, 6 barrels. We got 6 barrels. So we got to taste test them, and the idea behind this one, this barrel pick, was that we were going to split the barrel into different finishing barrels. So we start with the base spirit, and then cut it into 3, and then age those the same spirit 3 different ways. And after a bunch of experimenting and whatnot, we landed on the 3 finishes being a Madeira, an Armagnac finish, and a Pinot de Charence finish. So yeah, very, very, very interesting. Pinot de Charence is actually, I've never had it before, and I've never had Armagnac before either. Wonderful.
Me either until that day.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful by itself. So we're really excited to see how those 3 barrels come out. So we did it. It wasn't just me and Brad. We were doing it in conjunction with Texas Whiskey Life, Josh and Gretchen Galladay. Go check them out if you haven't already. Give them some love. And Patrick Cohn. Patrick Cohn was there as well, helping us out and keeping us leveled, so that we weren't making crazy, rash decisions. I said Pinot de Charente. Oh, maybe he's just spelling it out for the people. Oh, the original cast strength crew and Patrick Cohn. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to make Dan feel weird by saying the original cast strength crew, but
doesn't make me feel
true.
Weird.
Good. I don't know. I just feel weird. Captain Making Happens in the chat. What's going on, buddy? We also got to meet him this weekend, so yeah. Yeah, and so we're really excited to see how that finishes. I think that's going to be quite a number of months until that's sort of underway in terms of the finishing, the bottling. But we'll keep everyone posted on that and see how those progress. Another thing that we did while in the barrel warehouse was, if everyone remembers, Josh did a single barrel pick with some Bloody Butcher Corn Harbinger. Thank you. my brain's just absolutely fried. I was up at 4:45 this morning. So yeah. But anyways, yeah. So we that bottling was the same spirit, just bottled in 3 different times over a period of time. So the first release got released and it was great. And then we got to take some right out of the barrel. And it's been probably about, I'd probably say about 6-7 months since the first bottling. I say at least that, right, Brad?
Something like that.
Something like that.
5-6 months.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely before the summertime, right? So yeah.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, maybe 7.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Been a while.
The juice sitting there for so much longer just brought all the flavors just together and intensified it, but rounded it out weirdly. It was like I was just like, I pulled it right out of the cask and I was like, this smells amazing. Like it's like almost completely different, but yet very similar to what was already pulled out and bottled. So, but yeah, and Gretchen.
Yeah, if you just saw juice pop down with a question mark there, yeah, Vito spent a couple hours at a barrel warehouse, so now he just uses all the distillery terms like juice, and we'll just have to accept that, I think.
Hey, I was influenced.
Fair.
But yeah, Gretchen brings up a really good point. I can walk straight forward between barrels, whereas everyone else needs to go sideways and shimmy.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Although you did have chalk on both of your shoulders by the end of
I did, but I could still manage.
Yeah.
Vito wiped off all the ID from half the barrels.
There's just mystery barrels now.
We actually didn't go back and see if it actually took enough off of it, but I really hope it didn't.
I think it's fine. It'll be awesome.
Should be fine. Patrick Cohn's in the house. Oh, Patrick Cohn. Patrick Bologna. Jesus. And I think this is one of the reasons why we decided to do the stream so early, because we're all so tired.
Yeah, we're toasted. Too much socializing.
Yeah, way too much.
I need to hermit for a while.
Yeah, for natural introverts, the ball is very draining. But I hope I didn't come across. I'm sure Brad would share the same sentiment in saying that I hope we didn't come across too introverted. That we socialized enough. I always try my hardest to keep up.
It's fine. Speak for yourself. I don't care if people think I'm introverted. Don't matter to me.
I was trying so hard to be just extroverted and see everybody and run around the campus with my little legs, and ball is very draining. Oh God, I kind of like, but also regret Jeremy having this sort of power.
It's fair. It's a pro-con sort of situation. Oh yeah, there we go. Vito's fired, I guess. Oh, well. That's a shame.
I'm out.
All the power. Oh boy, he's gone mad with power.
Yeah. God damn. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Sarah's like, you call yourself introverted. I am at heart, and my core being as an introvert. But I do well to make myself very extroverted and character driven and whatever else you want to say. So. Yeah. Okay. So, shall we talk about the whiskeys really quick? How do you feel about what you have in your glass? And I guess remind people what we have in our glasses.
Well, I just had a little bit of water in mine to rinse this out after the Balcones single barrel, but it is very, very nice. It's a single barrel staff selection though, so I'm not sure how even it is with the normal single malt release. It is tasty.
Very tasty. I have the same pick.
And it's one of the few Texas whiskeys that I have still with me right now, because if you remember from last time, the plan was to send all of my whiskey back to New Jersey instead of bringing it directly here to save on tax situations with Ontario. So I have a bunch of samples here that I brought back, but I don't have a ton of, actual stuff from the trip. Other than a bunch of stuff from Matt from Whiskey Crusaders, we did a pretty large sample swap. It's the running joke being that everything that isn't at Matt's house is here and vice versa. So we did a nice big swap. And we'll have to get together with him with the Whiskey Crusaders and taste some samples pretty soon.
Lance says it's in a safe place.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
it's okay. I know where they live. It's fine.
And they have some of my whiskey too. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting. It's gonna be interesting trying to get all that back. But yeah, yeah.
I've got the High West Campfire, and it's the second time I've had it, and it's actually nicer than I remember. And because I never do any looking up, I'm not as great at multitasking as you guys who are like doing several things as well as streaming. I didn't look it up. I believe there is is there peated Scotch in this?
Yes, there is a peated whiskey that is unnamed, but it's sort of implied by the backstory that it could be Bunnahabhain. No, sorry, not Bunnahabhain. Yes, Bunnahabhain. Or Bruichladdich. One
Starts
of the two.
with a B?
It starts with a B. It's one of the two. It's definitely one of the two.
This is super, super nice. Like, this is really, really tasty. I get the tiniest little bit of that peat. Like, I don't think there's much in there. A lot of this seems to be, is it rye? I got to check it out. It's very rye-ish. Rye-like. A lot of rye notes, a lot of new charred oak vanillins in there, like a typical American bourbon sweetness, like a tiny bit of caramel. And I'm getting the peat more on the nose than anything, but it's so subtle and hidden behind what I'm perceiving to be rye. And I am going to have to look this up. But it's really nice. I didn't take a peek at 46%. Wow, this is actually quite tasty. It's one of the lower ABVs that I've had in a while. I've been heavy into the cask strength.
I wonder why.
Copyright. Okay. Because nobody's chiming. Oh, it has rye, bourbon, and peated Scotch blended. Okay, so thanks, Josh.
You always count on Josh.
Yeah, so okay, 80%, 95% rye, 5% barley malt from MGP, 80% rye, 20% malted rye from High West. Straight whiskey is 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% barley. Oh, this is a weird way that they're breaking it down. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's got all of that in it. The rye is poking out, but it's not that really dilly.
It's not.
Rye, because it is blended quite nice. And I get a lot of the bourbon notes too, but it's that peated Scotch that gives it just that little spike. And it's super nice. This is actually blended really well. I really enjoy this. I'd pick up what does this stuff go for down there? Somebody from the States, because we definitely don't see any High West up here.
Well, when I picked it up, I picked it up in Pennsylvania, and it was, I believe, $69, so $70 US.
I would pay that.
Yeah, so it's pushing about 100 Canadian dollars.
It's like most things. I'm going to suggest that it be a little higher ABV.
Yeah,
to get a little more raw character out of it, but it's really nice.
Yeah, no, they did a really good job with it. High West does a really good job with a lot of their from what I've tasted. I think I've had 3 so far, 3 or 4, and they've all been wonderful. So
Patrick Cohn is home from work.
Hey, Patrick Cohn.
Hey, Patrick.
And Kilco is sensing a Texas theme for
I
some
don't know.
reason.
I don't know where he
don't
did
know
that
why
idea.
that would be. It's weird, but whatever.
Where's High West out of? I know that they source. Oh,
BC.
Utah.
Yeah. I think they're like 30 minutes outside of Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. He was drinking the High West Campfire there. Captain, make it happen. Okay, so yeah, I didn't really talk about the Icarus, the Iron Root Icarus, very much, and my glass is empty now. Well, now it is.
Terrible affliction to have.
Terrible affliction. I'm gonna pour some of that Balcones single cask pick now, but the Icarus is absolutely fantastic.
It is.
Okay, so we had a lot of Iron Root this weekend, a lot of out of the barrel stuff. I have changed my shirt. I did laundry today as soon as I finished work, and I put the shirt back on for tonight to represent the weekend. And yeah, so going back to what I was saying, the guys at Iron Root, we had a lot. I don't know. I'd probably put the count at about 15, at minimum 15 different Iron Root whiskeys.
Something along those lines.
Something along those lines. A majority of their core line, but a lot of individual barrels. And there was only one that wasn't outstanding. And it wasn't even that it was bad. It was good. It was just like everything else is just so much richer. That was the one that I said would work well with a cognac cask. Because it was like it was there, but it just needed a little bit more flavor, right? So it was like the cognac would play really well with everything.
Right.
But yeah, the guys at Ironwood, and they're doing their 5-year anniversary, November. Correct me, Josh. Which day? November 1st. And they're releasing a 5-year-old Iron Root called the Icorn. That is just lights out.
Oh, that was going around down there, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got passed around at the ball sort of under the table for certain people, I think.
Yeah. So November 2nd is when the event's happening up in Denison, Texas. If you're in the area, if you can make your way there, definitely look into scoring some. I don't think you have to buy tickets, but find out and figure it out how to attend that event, because the hospitality that you'll receive from the Licorice Brothers and Mama Marshall Licorice and the whole team there is just go there just for that, and the whiskey is like just extra.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm gonna ask a lot of you guys right now, and I'm gonna ask you guys to remember the previous weekend before the ball, if you can, at David's tasting.
Oh yes, let's talk about that real quick.
Absolutely, I've got one of the samples from that right here. Actually.
Yeah. So Dave K, who's in the chat, is a local friend of ours. And every year he does a tasting in the fall, and it's always knockout. And this year was no exception. There was some fantastic pours, great lineup. And I was going to ask you guys what your favorite was of the evening.
Oh. Do you know, Brad? Because I have two answers.
It's tricky. That's what it is.
I have a feeling one of Vito's might be one of his favorites that he previously had before the tasting.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and let Brad think a little bit. So I'm gonna just eliminate the 2017 Lagavulin 12-year.
So
Sure.
good.
Just
that is amazing. Yeah.
Like I have to eliminate it. Hey, Ed from Rock Gut.
Hey, Ed.
Actually, you know what? I really hope it's not Ed, and I hope it's Erica.
It's probably Ed, though.
Damn him. That giant. Yo, okay, real quick aside. I was picked up more times than I would care to ever admit by men larger than me this weekend.
It's true. I saw it a few times.
It was like a lot. Like even by some ladies. shout out to the ladies. But yeah, man, that's all, man. Damn you, Jeremy. So if I eliminate the Lagavulin 12 2017 distillate, then it's a shocker that Amroot.
The Amroot was damn good. It was a surprise.
It was
surprisingly good.
That was my first Amroot.
Yeah. Well, that was my
It
second,
was delicious.
It was.
Dave, I'm gonna ask that you kindly write down in the chat what Amroot that was, because I've actually forgotten. And for the first time that we've all gathered, I did not bring my camera and take several pictures. So yeah, I can't remember, but it was that was delicious and really has me curious about some more Amroot now.
I think my favorite might have been the was it the Benriach?
There was a Benriach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the double
I
cap?
can't remember what the specifics were on it. I'd have to go look at the sample.
It was really, really good.
It was damn good.
I was really digging the Deanston.
Sure.
Okay.
And I actually really like the Delilah's.
The Delilah's
was really wonderful and a nice. And since I'm getting into like that sweeter sherried side now after my heavy peat phase, I really appreciated those. Those ones were just super, super tasty. And wine cask finishes are usually, not always, but for the most part, I really enjoy them.
You've been really into wine finishes lately.
Hard.
What was that one you gave me? You had me taste the other.
The Glen Tuckers.
Oh yes, the North Star, right?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Yeah, James is saying the Deanston Bordeaux was outstanding. And I don't know if I missed Dave, if he's still with us here, if he wrote it down there. I'm not doing great at keeping up with the chat.
It's okay. Dave's not in the chat tonight.
Okay, he was earlier.
He was for at least a bit. But
he's probably on call, so he probably had to dip out. Otherwise, he would have totally been all on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great tasting, and I think the most surprising, interesting one that wasn't necessarily the best, in my opinion, would be the Amroot. Having again that's my first Indian total, so and I know that's a shocker to some people, but that's my first Indian, and it was kind of like the Puni. When we had it, in that it wasn't necessarily the best whiskey I tried all night, but it was the most surprising, like standout, like intriguing one.
Yeah, that's why I said it. Like I kind of want to. I'm trying to rethink the way I approach whiskeys now, and I want to search and try weirdness. Right, I want to see where the boundaries are.
Right.
And sort of like really sort of just it's an experimentation. I think for me, okay, so I might not be too alone in this thinking, in that everyone had their like 1 year, 1.5 year sort of honeymoon phase of whiskey, where you're trying everything. You're like, oh yeah, I'm trying this and that, and you kind of hone in a little bit on what you like, right? And you're still open to try things, but a lot of times, at least for me, it kind of that sort of idea was like, I like peated scotches, so I kind of want to settle in there, right? And when I'm at a bar, like I'll usually order a peated scotch and not really look at anything else for the most part. And I kind of want to take a step back again and kind of re-enter like a honeymoon phase of whiskey and sort of discover new and interesting sort of things that I normally wouldn't go for.
Sure.
Does that make a bit of sense?
Big time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
And
I don't tend to explain things all that well, and if I do, I over explain. So I just want to make sure that I'm kind of getting my point across. It's like I want to re-enter a honeymoon.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, buddy.
Sure.
If you want, we can renew vows and physically do that. But for me, like I was a bourbon guy for many years, right? It was my go-to, some rye, but like hardcore bourbon dude. And then you guys came around and screwed that up, and I went straight into heavy peated, via like quarter cask and whatnot, and then got into the heavy peat and just really enjoyed it. And did try some other scotch, and other stuff, but not so much that, like you said, when I went to say the Caledonian, the first thing I'm looking at is the Isla list, and
Right.
I'm not even paying attention to anything else in the Bible. So now I've moved on there, and like before, I never used to really like sweeter Speysides or Highlands, and now I'm all about them. So I never really had that stage of just exploring everything that was out there, not even for a bit. So that's probably what I'm coming into now, and just like the wine finishes, and like I want to try more of those Bruichladdich, the Micro Provenance.
Oh, sure.
Apparently some of those are quite unique and totally stand out there, and like I've said before on previous streams, those guys are really experimenting with wine casks, and but I'd like to try stuff from all over. Like there's so much stuff. Obviously I've had Japanese and that and all your typical stuff, but I lasted pretty long not having Indian, and that Amroot has really sparked me on there. And Patrick Cohn earlier mentioned that you had several Amroot that were good, and while it's tricky for us to get Amroot up here, at least outside of their very, very core range, if you could drop a couple names that you recommend, I'd love to write those down and try to get some myself, because again, I can't remember the one we had and Dave's not here, but it was just spectacular.
It was.
Yeah. Maybe we can do an Indian whiskey stream or episode sometime in the future.
We can do that. We'll just have to get a couple of samples of things. We can work it out, I'm sure.
I'm sure we can find a way of doing it. Just want to really quickly call out a couple of people that came into the chat since last mention. Whiskey Drover, Tim, man, really cool. He started up a new, I believe it's a tasting experience that he wants to sort of take. He wants to sort of like, get like a lot of community involvement and get some attention. So if you guys can go follow Whiskey Drover, I don't think he doesn't have any videos out yet, but he's got a Facebook like business page. Definitely go check him out. Super cool guy, super knowledgeable, a lot of fun. He's in the Texas area, so definitely go check him out and give him some love from us. And it was a pleasure meeting him and hanging out with him.
I see Carl Ivy showed up in the chat too, which is reassuring because I wasn't sure that he survived on Sunday.
Oh, he was in some rough shape. Sunday was Carl Ivy's birthday. So again, we all said happy birthday on the Sunday, but just again, man, it was great to meet you. And again, I hope you had a great birthday. So what happened was we left Nickel City where it's Bourbon Night was having a little bit of a small sort of get together and whatever. And we were all celebrating Carl's birthday at the same time. And we went to a small speakeasy with Carl. And then after a drink, I looked over and Carl was just like, he was already a little shaky. But I looked over and I was like, I think it's time for Carl to go home. So I called an Uber, went back to where he was. I took him. I was like,
Vito was making that call.
Yeah,
things are rough when Vito is the voice of reason.
Time.
Hey, you know what? Besides that Wednesday at Iron Root, I was very well behaved.
You were, because of that Wednesday at Iron Root, you were
Because
very
of
well
that Wednesday, I
behaved for the rest of the
Yeah.
week.
didn't have a
You know what I
choice.
need to do? Every time I go to Texas, I need to go up to Iron Root and just prime my body and just be like, okay, this is what happens when you have a little bit too much. Let's take a step back and just kind of keep things together. But yeah, no, I got him back to his place, where he was staying, our buddy Ryan's place, and he just clocked out, just on the couch. And yeah, no, I'm glad he had a good time. And he goes only had 1 or 2 drinks at Nickel City. It was a really good time, really good time. And yeah, he even said, he's like, I'm glad Vito had a tile. I knew he'd get me home. Because imagine if I didn't have the tile and I was just a little bit intoxicated too. It's like, where the hell are both of them?
Where did they go?
Where did he go?
Patrick, thank you for those Amroot recommendations. I have copied and pasted that, and we'll try to get some of those. I heard really good things about the intermediate sherry. So appreciate those recommends. My glass is empty now, so I'm going to ask someone in the chat to name a deck of cards that is not the 6 of spades, even though there might be 2 6 of spades in here, because this is 101 cards, 100 cards now. So someone in the chat, first person to pick out a card, just name a card, and that's what I'll be drinking next. 8 of clubs, Whiskey Crusader Will. All right. I hope it's a goodie. This is really fun, actually. I'm not going to lie. 8 of clubs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Good pull.
What is it?
The new North Star Orkney 12-year.
Nice.
Yes. Love my North Star. I got to get some samples of these to you guys.
I wouldn't complain about that.
Yeah, sure.
I think we were just a little...
Jeremy agrees. I believe you have his address already. He screams it out occasionally.
Yes. I only had a tiny little taste of this, and it's absolutely stellar. So I'm having some North Star Orkney 12-year-old, and North Star, for those of you that don't know, is an independent bottler, and they have an amazing... Whoever is picking their barrels is probably one of the best I've ever tasted. Like they've got an incredible knack for picking really tasty barrels.
They do a really good job. They do a way better job than anyone in Canada does. Let's just be real.
Oh my God, it's so it's really bright for a 12-year. Really fresh. I'm getting like orchard fruit, like green apple, white pear. Just really sweet. You can definitely tell that I'm 99% sure this is a Highland Park. I mean, their last
very
Orkney,
possible.
their last Orkney was a Highland Park, and their Island Star is, I believe, a Highland Park too. So
they have a lot of bottlings now, man. Like it's ridiculous. Like you can't even say that the North Star is a Highland. The island is a Highland Park anymore, because they've done a couple since then, if I'm not mistaken, that aren't.
Right. So
yeah.
the 11-year series.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Series
Problems.
2.
You just hate when you open up a sample bottle and hear a little bit of a crack, and the inside, I don't know if it'll focus in, but the plastic, and that just ruins the whole seal.
Well, you'll just have to drink the whole sample.
I mean, it's the Balcones rum at 65.3%. I don't know if I have to work really early in the morning, and I don't know if my new manager might be in the chat today because I told her about I do this channel sort of thing. So I was like, oh God, I better not. But
this is so good.
Yeah, Donald ran to the chat, just dropped. True enough. The only person in the Canadian whiskey industry that is a true superstar is Dr. Don Livermore. I don't know if he's the only one, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a very small list, and he is on it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't say he's the only, but he's definitely a big reason, I think, why we're starting to get some respect up here for some tasty whiskey, and certainly having a PhD in the field that you're working in helps out. But beyond that, even if he didn't have that level of education and knowledge, his passion and enthusiasm and his desire to experiment, I think, is a big benefit to the Canadian whiskey biz, and it's evident in a lot of his bottlings.
Yeah. He's definitely the standout figure, almost in the way that name's escaping me. Do forgive me. Whistle Pig's late master distiller. I forget. The chat will correct me.
Someone will yell it in the chat, I'm sure.
Yeah, but just impactful figures in your niche, sort of.
Dave Pickerel.
Sorry, say again.
Dave Pickerel.
Yes, Dave Pickerel. Yeah. So, yeah, he definitely the key figure in the Canadian market. But there are a lot of distilleries that he's not even involved with that are doing really good things. Like Two Brewers is doing really fun and interesting stuff up in the territories, right? So, there's still a little bit, but it's got to become a bigger thing. But the Canadians have to get it. Canadians, here's the thing. Canadians have to get as excited about whiskey as Texans get about everything Texan.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Texans are just like, Texans, yeah, let's do it, right? Canadians got to get excited about the whiskey market, and that'll drive a record, like not even just the business up from the small distilleries doing fun things and whatnot to people really recognizing and putting a lot of attention on, like the way we embrace the syrup. Sure.
Absolutely.
That's a great thing. So really quickly, my the whiskey friends in the chat, as well as Sniper Mac, Mike from Toronto. Yes, from Toronto. Also, go check out the whiskey friend on his channel. He's doing a lot of fun stuff, and he's got a really good attitude and poise about him and his videos and his opinions on his whiskey. So definitely go show him some love. Okay, so I really want to just quickly talk about our experience at the ball, because I feel like that's relevant in a couple of different ways. Brad, how was the ball for you on the Saturday?
It was good. It was busy and surprising no one. It was a lot of people for me to deal with, but it was good. It was fun. The weather was a hell of a lot better than last year, that's for sure. It was great. Yeah, I did. I only got recognized a couple of times, or at least people only came up to me a couple of times, which was a lot less than last year too, which was nice for me. It was a lot of fun. Great whiskey, great people.
Mm-hmm.
Not a terrible amount of walking. Good weather. Can't complain.
And you know what, Jeremy is preaching some truth. We should talk about it because I took one very short video and 3 pictures all day. My phone was in my pocket the 99.9% of the time that entire day. It's the most. It's the most I disconnected from like the internet in a long.
I think I probably took 5 or 6 pictures like all week.
Yeah.
One of them.
And we had a nice little
dancing.
Yeah. Okay. That video of me will come out at a certain point. We'll
I'm
create.
sure it will. It'll come out when the time is
I will
right
be
for it to come out.
Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
there's something fun, but there's also something really fun coming out on for those that didn't attend the ball and haven't looked at any pictures. There's something really fun that happened at the ball that I will leave until Saturday morning, when I'm sure that the Whiskey Tribe episode will showcase what occurred.
Yes.
So
yes.
Just watch out for that video, and then we'll get the couple of videos and photos that we took on, so that you guys can see what happened. But yeah, the ball
If you don't
was
follow Christina Tripoli and the tribe, you should, because she took a pile of photos and
She did.
they're amazing.
Yeah, some goodies, some gooders for sure.
Let's shout out the Christina Zerpoli as well as Terry Dolan for their mad photography skills on Saturday.
Yep, absolutely.
Just ridiculous, wonderful, candid shots. Just fantastic. Yes, cheers.
Nice one, Zerp.
My new display. You only took a few.
A few hundred pictures, a couple of videos, whatever.
So, yeah. So one of the really cool things was that I don't know if they had it. They had this last year, Brad. So you'll have to. And I obviously forgot to ask, but did they have a YouTube courtyard set up last year?
No, it was just a couple of tables like outside of the Tuscan Hall area.
Right. So what I want to make known, because there were a lot of people that were looking to kind of like an area as to where we could take pictures, and I don't think I took very. I think I may have taken like 2 or 3 pictures with people all weekend. Not by anyone's fault. It wasn't a thing on my mind to take pictures with everybody or those people or whatnot. It just didn't occur naturally, and like I said, my phone was in my pocket almost the entire day, and I didn't take it out very often. But for next year, and if this happens again, which I'm sure it will, and I'm sure me and Brad and hopefully Dan will be there, as well as a couple of other people that are involved with the channel. The guys at the Crowded Barrel set up a courtyard beside Tuscan Hall called the YouTube courtyard that all of us were pretty much sort of grounded in. That was our, we would be there more times than not. So you guys can come in, when actually meet, properly introduce and have a conversation, stuff like that. Instead of in line, which is also really cool and organic. But if you want, it was just really, we had a place to be. Right. So there were a lot of people that had asked me, it's like, hey, I didn't see you at the ball. Where were you? I was all over the place, but Brad and the Cult of Ardbeg were at the YouTube courtyard, and all the other YouTubers. And let's shout out all the other YouTubers. So we had Bourbon Blind, Aquavite, Scotchless Dummies, Rocket Review, It's Bourbon Night, us,
Whiskey Crusaders,
Whiskey Crusaders. My mind's blank.
Bourbon Sane,
Bourbon Sane,
Eric,
Mash and Drum already. Eric Waite, No Nonsense Whiskey, Vin from No Nonsense Whiskey.
I Whiskey She Wines.
Whiskey She Wines. Oh my God, Sam, you're the best.
Sam is hilarious.
Sam is honestly the best.
The Whiskey Tribe, maybe little channel called Whiskey Tribe.
Yeah, they were around somewhere.
Texas Whiskey Life was there. Obviously, Texas Whiskey Life was there as well. I feel like I'm missing 1 or 2 more. Please forgive me. I should have been
Whiskey Dick was there. Yeah.
Bill, yes, Bill was there. Bourbon Junkies, yes, Bourbon Junkies. That's who I was forgetting.
There was a lot.
There was a lot of us
Cask
there.
Strength was there technically too.
Technically, and we were there. We were there. I think we hit everybody. Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. We were all in and out of the YouTube area, but a lot of the YouTubers spent a lot of their time just so that everyone that wanted to sort of come and talk with us and share a dram. That's where we were for the most part. So yeah, so next year, if you don't see us, look for the YouTube courtyard because that's most likely where all of us will be.
I mean, if we get another invite, I guess. I mean, it depends.
And that's if we continue the channel, which I hope we do.
True. I would have quit any day now.
And Jeremy does, mentions there was live streaming in the courtyard, and we do have a quick live stream. It was a 30-minute live stream celebrating our 1 year YouTube anniversary. I can't believe we made it. Stream was broadcast from the Bastards Ball, and so nice of them to throw us a party for our 1 year, right?
Super kind. I mean, small channel, and they put on this massive production and got distilleries to come in and all of these people from around the world. It was pretty super nice of them.
Yeah, it's very.
I feel
they're a nice couple of guys,
extra rude that I didn't show up to the party they held for us. But I mean, hey, you guys were there.
We were there, and we had you in our hearts. You were traveling with us.
Gretchen says, let's give a shout out to the distillers that came out and poured magnificent Texas whiskeys all day.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So
there was a lot of those too.
A lot. So Iron Root, still in Austin. Milam Green. I hope I pronounced that right, Gretchen. Milam Green. Balcones, Treaty Oak, Andalusia, Banner, they're very small distillery. They do weeded bourbons and weeded whiskeys. Really interesting, really fun. Lone Elm. Did I say Lone Elm? I think I said Lone Elm. I'm missing a couple. Do forgive me again. My memory is awful.
Yeah, Tawakaro, Willis from Whiskey Crusaders thing.
Yeah, that's one
interesting things.
I just can't pronounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Texas Whiskey Life does a really good job on their Facebook group, their Instagram, and they have a video up as well on their YouTube channel, evangelizing Texan whiskey, and rightly so. It is phenomenal, all phenomenal stuff. So much character with such young age whiskeys, and the Bastard Ball does a really good job at highlighting everything that they're doing. And yeah, just great stuff.
Yeah, Crowded Barrel, another small one you forgot to mention.
They were there, I guess. Whatever.
I'm ready to just crash right now.
Yeah, you guys deserve a week of rest. It was awesome, and all jokes aside, I'm really glad that you guys went down, and for all of you guys that did take pictures and videos that are checking us out right now, shout out to you and appreciate that, because lots of people, obviously a ton of people that wanted to show up and couldn't make it. Then we had to live vicariously through all of you that did go. So thanks for taking the time out to take the snaps and make your posts and everything, because it's a great way to kind of pseudo share the experience with everybody. And from what I heard, it was just absolutely spectacular and a great show. I can't wait to go next year. The more I don't go, the better it's going to be when I do show up.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay, so I don't want to run into Jason Mash and Drum's time, and I think we're all kind of ready to call it a night. Mark Townsend.
Hey, Mark.
Mark's in the chat.
Cheers, buddy.
Hey.
We decided to go on early today. We all weren't feeling the 10 o'clock slot tonight. A bit too late for us this week, but yeah, I'm glad you can make it in real quick. So I just really want to say in the last couple of minutes, after us, go to Jason Mash and Drum's channel, watch it live. I'm pretty sure he's live tonight. As well as look out for the Iron Root YouTube barrel pick. We didn't really discuss that either. There was so much to discuss, but yeah,
there was a lot. There was a Lefroy event that we we showed up with us. There was so many things happening.
Yeah,
save some for every episode.
Right.
Yeah,
We've
Yeah,
got like
okay,
7 episodes worth of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, so we'll discuss a little bit more of that in depth. But there was a huge YouTuber whiskey YouTuber barrel pick that we did with Iron Root that we're all really excited about. So be on the lookout for more information on that. We'll get into stuff like that, more stuff on from our perspective next live. So shall we call it a night?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking. If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
That was so unplanned. And if you drink, may you drink with us. Let's just call it a night. Bye.
Yeah,